Hey, Shabbat Shalom to all of my Hebrew brothers and sisters out there in social media world. This is Brother Dana coming to you from Chicago here on Saturday morning. I pray that you are having a blessed, relaxing day, spending it with the Most High. This morning, I just wanted to bring to you, maybe I can say a rationale that I'm standing on when it comes to the overwhelming response of love and encouragement and support that I have gotten from so many of my Hebrew brothers and sisters in defending me concerning my Hebrew brothers and sisters that are not a big fan of me, and or if anything, and rightfully so, see me still as their enemy due to who I am as a white Gentile and the history of my people, my white family. And that support has come from so many of you saying that it is not for me to take these negative bashing comments that are being written on my YouTube videos. And I want to say to you, first and foremost, thank you, because that absolutely touches my heart. But I want to share with you just where I'm coming from as I entertain, and I don't mean that as entertaining them because it's just something fun to do, but as my title says, why I hear them, but also why I won't and I am going to refuse to listen. As many of you know, and maybe you don't know, my whole journey began back in March of 1994 when I was coming away from a church service on the Chicago's West Side, and I had a altercation with 5 young black men that walked past me, leaving me beaten up, bloody nose, ice chunks were smashed on my head, on the ground, and with the final kick came the words, "Welcome to racism." And those 5 young black men ran off, and that was the pivotal point of where I am today. And what had happened was, after that beating that only lasted for seconds, if you want to, it wasn't a long beating, but it was enough to impact me physically. But more importantly, it did an incredible impacting in my spirit and in my heart. And I felt that at that moment, pain, a depth of pain that I had no idea to what that meant or what was behind the pain. And so now, over these last 24, 25 years, the Most High has put me on a journey to understand, at least in my mind, the pain of what it means to live under racism, white supremacy, and oppression. And I thank the Most High that He allowed that altercation to happen. But more importantly, I thank Him that He gave me the strength, the grace, the mercy, the ability to look past the beating, to feel the pain, and then have a desire to understand to the best of my ability what was behind that pain. And I correlate that now with some of the beatings that I take from some of my not so supporting followers on YouTube. And there's a scripture that comes to my heart as I want to respond to those that have made it very clear that I am not a punching bag, and I am not trying to be this individual that, oh, look at me, I'm just taking these beatings and I'm being a martyr for the Most High. No, that's not my intention. But it is my desire to be a white, Gentile, Caucasian male that is willing to hear the cries, of my Hebrew brothers and sisters that may not express their pain in politically kind ways, but past those words and past the demeaning that they have for me, it is my desire, just like it was past the beating, the physical beating of these 5 guys, it has been my desire to listen and to try to understand the pain that is behind those beatings. And so in Matthew chapter 5, verses 40 to 42, Yeshua was saying, "And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile or make you walk a mile," Yeshua says, "go with him too. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee. Turn not thou away." And so I did a little bit of reading and research on exactly what it meant when Yeshua told those who followed him that if somebody makes you go a mile, go with them too. And so in that research, I found out that Roman soldiers who were carrying backpacks that were it was just absolutely heavy backpacks, they had the right to look at a Hebrew brother or sister and tell them to carry that backpack for a mile. And so now here you have the Jews, or the Hebrews at the time, who hated the Romans because they were Gentile foreigners running their country. And they had to pay taxes to Caesar and to a government that did not view them as valuable or equal, much like you have here, exactly like what you have here in the United States. And yet, after all of that pain and all of that which is being placed upon your ancestors while they were under the Roman government, they were required, if a Roman soldier told them to carry their backpack, their heavy backpack, a mile, they were required to do so. And it said that if they did not, they would be flogged. Here I have my Hebrew brothers and sisters that live in a country underneath an American government that does not value you, has never valued you, and does not care about you, but yet you got to pay taxes. You got to do all these things. And so I look at it this way. Yeshua has said that if somebody comes up to you, my son, and compels you and makes you carry their pain for a mile, I want you to carry it too. And that's exactly how I view, or how I handle, or how I accept some of my non-supporting Hebrew brothers and sisters when they compel me through their comments to carry their backpack of pain, to carry it not just a mile, but to carry it too. To carry it so that I may be one person from the side of your enemy, from the Caucasian, white, Gentile nation, that is willing to not just tolerate you, but to hear you, to hear your pain, and to hear your pain beyond what I should even have to listen to based on the words and the demeaning that come behind it. But when people are hurting and they have been done wrong, I'm not trying to get them to use kind words in expressing their pain when we know that you as a people are never listened to when you do crying out in the right way. And then when you kneel, you're still degraded, because ultimately we don't want to hear about your complaining or the pain. But I want to be an instrument and a man of the Most High, from the side of the enemy, from the American government, like the Roman government, that switches roles and is willing to endure some hardship, pain, name calling, and even some degrading from my Hebrew brothers and sisters that may not express their way in their words and in their emotions in a kind way, but nevertheless, beyond those words are hearts of individuals that are suffering. And so may I be privileged enough to carry some of that pain 2 miles. It may not change their view, may not change their position about how they feel about me, but I don't do it for a change in their behavior or their view or their opinions. I do it because I want to be a vessel of the Most High, willing to go 2 miles and carry some pain and hear that pain and hear what they have to say. I had a Hebrew brother that Facebooked me, messaged me, and when he had asked me to help him pay his rent, and I told him that I would not be able to, his insults became very deep. And the reality was, finally, after going back and forth for probably 45 minutes, I told him that if he would have truly prayed to the Most High, as he said he did, the reasoning that I was not willing, as he sought to give him money to help him with his rent, was not because I didn't care. I heard his pain. But the willingness of me not giving him money to pay his rent, as I finally told him, is because I'm in foreclosure myself. My foreclosure that I'm in has not come because I have overspent myself. But my foreclosure in the position that I am in is because for 8 years, the Most High told me that I would be on a journey, that I would understand Peter, that I would have to trust him every step of the way. But he also told me I would understand the pain of Lazarus when Yeshua did not show up to heal him and allowed him to be buried in that darkness of, where is my Messiah? To the point where my predicament that I was in was because I lost jobs because of my affiliation and my standing up for my black brothers and sisters, who now I know the majority of you are the true chosen people of the Most High. Went to work one day, and when I got there, I was told to leave immediately because they saw on my Facebook page a picture that I posted standing against the violence of white America. I was never able to get any jobs. Everywhere I went, no, or would not respond. And then finally a place responded, and I went through all of the interviews up until the last one, and then I got a "I'm sorry" email. And the reason is because I worked with black kids. So if I'm experiencing a small amount of pain in following Yeshua and Yah, in defending his people, even before I knew they were his chosen people, and that has made me angry at times and frustrated, not just with society, but with Yah himself. Yeah, people don't have no desire for you and they are flourishing, and those of us that want to do your will are suffering. But there's beauty in that suffering because it allows me to understand to a very small degree what my Hebrew brothers and sisters have been going through for generations. And so at that time, I finally told him the reason why I am not able to help you financially is because I'm in foreclosure myself. And it's only my faith in the Most High to bring about something that is going to save the very home I know He blessed me with. And on a good note, there's a couple of things in the process right now that I've been directed to that keeps me encouraged. So I'm willing to walk with some of my brothers and sisters that don't care too much for me, because Yeshua told me, go with them too. But I do want to say this both to those of you who are not fans of me, and also to those of you that appreciate what I am doing through the Most High, is that I'm willing to hear them, but I will not be listening. And when I say listen, I am not going to back down. I'm not going to stop. If I didn't stop to satisfy my own white family and blood family, I'm sorry. But there's nothing in me that's going to listen to you to stop doing what the Most High has called me to do. My service and my allegiance is to Him. My allegiance was to Him before you came into the picture. And now that some of you that don't like me are in the picture, do you think I'm going to change the course of my walk? There is suffering in following the Most High, and especially when you defend the very people that are His chosen. But I'm not my own, and I've been bought with a price. I belong to Him. So it's called servanthood. And some of my Hebrew brothers say that I will be a slave. Well, if being a slave means exactly what my life has been. See, for those 8 years, I was not able to find a job. For 8 years, I struggled living off of $8,000 to $10,000 a year. My house was behind $20,000 in mortgage at one point. And then I got a call before they foreclosed from a sister in the neighborhood that said, Brother Dana, these were her exact words. She says, I really don't care much for white folk, but she said, I love your heart. And she said, I have a grant that I want to offer to you. And it brought me up to date. But like I said, those were 8 years where I had no full-time job. I substitute taught wherever I could, how I could. But just like your ancestors in the wilderness, the Most High never turned my lights off. He never allowed my refrigerator to be empty. And I've learned of His faithfulness. And during those nights when there was nobody around and it was just myself and the Most High being faced with the issues and the worries and the concerns that laid ahead of me, He gave me the strength to pull through. And so I want to just say to those of you that do not care much about me and see me as your enemy, I'm okay with that. That's why I will hear you, and I will, when you compel to go a mile, I will, under obedience to Yeshua, I will walk with you too, to try to carry and hear and understand your personal pain in the journey that you've been through, being oppressed and not valued. But I'm not going to listen in stopping what I've been called to do. So I hope this will bring some type of an understanding to both those that encourage me in not listening and taking that type of stuff, but also for you that throw out those insults in your pain. That I'm willing to hear you, but I won't be listening. In that, I am putting my webpage. I want to put on there a resource called Hebrew Resources. I have individuals reaching out to me from across the globe, and especially across the United States, wondering if I know of congregations in the state of Oregon, or if I know of a fellowship in Texas. I have Hebrew brothers and sisters reaching out to me, wanting information where they can be taught more about who they are. And because I am not going to teach you and I am not able to teach you, I try to link them to YouTube channels or individuals that I have become aware of to help them in their walk. And so what I need from my Hebrew brothers and sisters out there is, if you are an individual that has a YouTube channel, if you are an individual that does music, I've got a couple brothers that have contacted me with some of their songs, and they're Hebrew brothers. If you are a Hebrew brother or sister and you have a clothing line, or you have some type of service, or you have some type of product that you would love for other Hebrew brothers and sisters to be aware of, I want you to contact me on my webpage. Let me get to my shoulder down there. www.onelovesociety.love. Go to my contact page. And I want you to send me information about who you are and what you have to offer. Because I want to use my life. I want to use my resources. I want to use my webpage to be a place where Hebrew brothers and sisters can come on that and find some of the resources and the necessary things they need. So if it's buying a shirt, if it's buying some books, if it's listening to some music, if it's purchasing any type of service, I want my webpage to be at least a place where my followers who are in need of something can go to onelovesociety.love and click on Hebrew resources and find what they may be looking for. Because I see my life as somebody that has been called by the Most High to do everything in my power to bless, encourage, protect, advocate, and bring together my Hebrew brothers and sisters until you get into the promised land, and then it's all yours. So please hit me up. One of the other things, and part of the motivation behind this, is I have a brother that's been reaching out to me that teaches Hebrew language. And so I'm going to post his link. But that's what I want Hebrew resources on my webpage, onelovesociety.love, to be, is a place where you can go. Not that I don't want to help you, but personally, but if you can go there and find what you're looking for, you click on congregations and you find out that there is a Hebrew congregation that meets on the south side of the city in which you live, to give you a place where you can go and to get truth and have fellowship and understanding of who you are. If you're an individual that wants to be a clothing seamstress or whatever you want to call it, and you are making up t-shirts, then please, may I be an outlet to help you get word out to what you have to offer, to support you, so that you can start up your own business. If you go on my webpage, you'll see TWID. That's what I do. And he's a brother I met years ago that actually helped me with my logo and makes my t-shirts. But he also has gym shoes. He has sports clothing. And so if you are a Hebrew brother or sister, he's in Texas and you're in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, and you are coaching a basketball team, I would love for you to be able to connect with him and have your shirts and your jerseys and whatever else that you need made by a Hebrew brother, so that the finances go to him. And we begin to build up across this nation the army of the Most High, knowing that every need and every resource is provided right there amongst the people of the Most High. Because granted, when white America in this society goes down, the Most High is going to raise you up. So why not start now? So thank you to all of those that tune in and give me your ear. I hope that some of this will clarify to you the reason why I'm willing to hear the words from those that hate me. But I'm not willing to back down by listening to what they have to say. Because more than their voice, I have to listen and follow the voice of the Most High Yah. For He is the desire of my heart. So, once again, if you've got a service or something to offer the people of the Most High, please go to my webpage, onelovesociety.love. Click right now on the contact form. Let me know what it is, and then I'm going to send you a form that will help me understand more of what you have with any links, any web pages that you have that I can put on my web page and then advertise that, so when somebody is in need of a service or something that you provide, they can go to my web page, our web page at onelovesociety.love, click on that link, find what you have to offer, exactly what they need, and go to you to support you in any way necessary. So until we come back together again, I want to just say Shabbat Shalom. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for each and every single one of you that constantly reach out to me and encourage me with so much love and support. And I also want to say thank you to those that may not agree with what I'm doing, but in sharing your pain, I'm willing to hear you. And I'm willing to even go 2 miles with you, as Yeshua has commanded. But just know that after I'm done hearing you, I cannot listen to you if what you're asking me to do is to shut up, sit down, or go away. Because greater than your voice is the voice that I follow, and that is the voice of the Most High Yah. Shalom.